Hello, Emily here from Emily's Visions. Been a while since I've recorded one of these. I wanted to do one about quiet and retreat during this COVID crisis that we're all facing, which is unifying us around the world, which is interesting and bringing us varied experiences, some good, some challenging, and very much hits the heart of who we all are as individuals and how we feel about the deeper subjects that touch us in our lives. So as somebody who's taught and led things online, mostly because of my disability, for quite a few years, I am quite pleased to see the internet being celebrated outwardly for a space where we can do things beyond idle chatter. It has been hard sometimes when I've been running things and then people in real life have said, oh, that's just a thing you do on the internet. So it's quite interesting watching everybody go, oh, we can do things on the internet. That's legitimate. That's a new... a new thing in a lot of people's minds, how helpful the internet is, and I've myself have seen that directly, whilst people have been a bit like, oh well, that's just something I do in the weekend for fun or to play a little game, so yeah, that's interesting because it's a vehicle for a lot of human power and human expression. And to value that is really worth doing. So I just wanted to talk about retreat, really, because we find this quarantine thing very difficult. It's not what we're used to, but actually it's something that a lot of human beings have done in various situations. So I wanted to highlight the sort of things reasons why human beings would choose isolation, would choose retreat, and because I think it's very important, whilst we use the internet for communicating, that we also, each of us individually, work on our inner core, who we are, and our personal things. And we can get very distracted on the internet talking to various people, and sometimes I've noticed if I work hard on the internet then I log off and I feel quite tired afterwards because I've been looking after people and I haven't. Do I have anything to replace that energy with? So I want us all to be able to kind of, to a certain extent, go on retreat during this time, just like many people have done, yogis and yoginis up in their caves that people would visit and celebrate how much time somebody had spent in that cave and the realizations that they'd gained. Monks and nuns in their little modest rooms and cells, taking time for spiritual reflection that sometimes lasted a long time, fasting even, and really being with their spirit and being with their individual religion and their relationship. So I think it's important to remember retreat. So what I know about retreats I will share, because actually retreat is just a normal thing for a human being to do, and anyone can do it, regardless of your faith, whether you have faith or not, anything. You can, and it's just a normal human activity. So I've been taught that there are like 3 types of retreat. There's retreat of time, retreat of number, and retreat of sign. So retreat of time is the most common one that people do because, like, they go off to, say, a meditation resort or a centre or a holiday even, and they do. So that could be, oh, I go for a weekend, or I do it for a week or a month even. So that's the most common type of retreat is a retreat of time. We'd all like this to be a retreat of time, but unfortunately we have no clue when it's going to end. when this thing is going to pass. Retreat, the second type is a retreat of number. So for example, we can think, right, well, I'm going to count, say, 100,000 mantras of this deity, or I'm going to try and think of something else, because mantra is good because you can use it. Lots of people count mantras in different faiths. Think of a different number. Well, you might have a retreat, like an artist could go on a retreat of number, like, oh, they were going to do, like, say, I don't know, say 70 different paintings, just to really focus their artistic skill and their artistic focus, 70 different paintings. So that would be a good example of a retreat of number 2. So the other type of retreat is a retreat of sign. Now, a retreat of sign is, I'm going to sit on my meditation cushion until I get a realization of such and such, or until I receive a sign that the reason for this retreat is hit home. There I am, I landed. This is a retreat of sign. The retreat will continue until the coronavirus has passed, until we have found ways we've found ways to have antidotes to it, or we've enough people we've had the illness and it's passed on. This is a retreat of sign. We're waiting for that sign. So those are the most difficult types of retreat, and are not tend to be the ones that are chosen unless you really are very zealous, like Milarepa, maybe up in the mountains, like doing his retreat in the cave and living only on nettles, and to the point where his skin turned a little green. So So I want to give some ways of having a retreat, because a retreat is a very personal time. So it's not for anyone else to judge, and you can use parameters that other people set. So for example, there are traditional retreats you could probably go on as a Christian, or as a Buddhist, or as Muslim, or as a Jain, or many different religions. There's probably, you could go to your guru, your teacher, your guide, and there's probably a traditional retreat that they could recommend. So that's worth doing. If you already have faith in a connection, then that's worth considering. So what I plan to do is just talk about how to do a retreat. So the first thing to do is to have a special place. So you set up a special place in your home. Some people choose their living room, sometimes the bedroom, sometimes if you've got a separate room, you could clear a bit of space. Maybe you've been using it for storage. Clear a bit of space and set it up there, and you set up a sort of little shrine, really. And on the shrine you can put anything you like. You can put Buddhas, or gods and goddesses that you love, your heroes and heroines, anything really, any images and things that make you feel inspired and happy. That's the important thing, inspired and happy. And then you make a commitment to visit it. Now, I think 6 sessions is good. I'm going for 6 sessions with my retreat. And what I've got is I've got these little markers. These are they're like little kiddies. They're all different. Are you different? 2 kiddies. I just happen to have these. So I've got 6 of these. Now you could use that, or you could use beads, or you could use, you could go on your one walk for the day and find 6 rocks, little stones, whatever works. I like having the counters because the retreat is very personal to me. No one's watching to make sure I do 6 sessions. I aim for 6 sessions. And if I don't hit 6 sessions, because you never know, sometimes you have a focus, but other things happen in the day, and that's fine too. So, it's okay not to at the end of the day, when you go to bed or when you visit the shrine for the last time of the day, to see, oh, actually I only did 2 or 3 sessions today, or I just did that one in the morning when I woke up. That's okay. Nobody's judging you, but it's good for you to have some measurement So you, in day by day, you can see how you're doing, and how much focus you were able to give it, you know. And if you didn't have the focus, then even then that's good, because then you can think, well, that's because these important things happened today. Because when the days merge into each other, sometimes it's hard to measure, you know, what you've been up to, you know. So that's quite good too, because you could go, well, today must have been very busy, what have I been doing? So that's good for checking in with yourself. So and then basically what I've been doing is saying a little prayer. I've got a little prayer that's traditional to my faith, so I've been saying that every trying to go to the shrine, say that prayer 6 times a day. Sometimes I put little bowls up and put some water in to make offerings, and I can imagine that the water is all sorts of different lovely things. Yeah. And that's what I've been doing. So, and if you do that, then what you can find is you have a regular practice. It gives you something to hold on to. It's your core. It's your shrine. You set it up. You know your motivation. You're looking after yourself, and I think that's really important at this time, particularly as we come back full circle to the idea of communicating on the internet, which is really good. But we don't want it just to be a lot of noise, because it will be tiring for people. And also we may find when we go in and we have the energy, we'll attract people who need the energy, who haven't got their own core. So they'll take some energy from us, which is fine. It's nice to be giving and kind and sharing, but we will have a space for ourselves where we're regenerating ourselves. And that's very, I feel that's very important. And from that perspective, it's a fabulous opportunity, because normally, let's face it, we are working very hard. We have to go out and do lots of things. You know, we can even have the peer pressure, even though we enjoy going out, say for example, to the pub and meeting people regularly. You know, it becomes something that other people expect us to do. Nobody has any expectations on us right now, so we have perfect opportunity to go on retreat and to celebrate this opportunity and make it an opportunity. Especially at this time when, you know, a lot of people are feeling nervous and upset, and we need to stabilise our mind. So I hope this is helpful. I tried to make it so that basically anybody could, you know, set up a shrine and a space and a core for themselves, regardless of, you know, their faith or their leanings, because this is just a very human thing to have an understanding of, you know, who we are and what we want to be doing with our lives. And I believe that we can, you know, we can really transform ourselves through practice. And I've certainly seen it myself. There are things that I can do and think and say that I never could before I started practicing and learning about who I am. So much blessings to you all. It's been a pleasure, and good luck with everything, and keep strong. Remember how you are beautiful as an individual. Everybody has people who celebrate them, and you have someone who celebrates you, no doubt. So take care. See you soon. Bye.